So I'm going to answer the question very directly. The question, as we've titled the episode, are PPO plans softening their stance on negotiating? And my answer to that is, Naren, wait for it, sort of.
Right.
Sort of. Let me explain what I mean by that, because that really is the accurate way to describe it. Sort of. Now, if you call any PPO plan and work your way, first of all, work your way through the different channels. This will take you a great deal of time of getting transferred from one person to another, to another, to another, to another. And then finally get to someone that has some authority. And you say, are you willing to negotiate with me on my PPO schedule? Their answer will be a categoric no. No, we don't negotiate. This is what it is. That will be their answer. That wasn't always the case, Naren. In the distant past, insurance companies would negotiate with dentists on the PPO. We had some success with that early on. We had some successful negotiation at LifeSmiles. However, the negotiations were piddly diddly. They'd give us a little bit more. It really wouldn't change our stance on whether we wanted to be in or out of network, because it wasn't enough to make it. It was better than we had, but it wasn't enough to make it worth staying. But let me tell you, when I answer the question, are they softening their stance? The answer is sort of. But if you call them and ask the question, are you willing to negotiate with me? The answer will be a categoric no, and they'll essentially, hang up, and that's it. However, let me tell you what's happening. And I'm seeing this happen with more and more of our clients, of our coaching clients. That is that once you resign, and pick a plan, Aaron, it's almost like, in Vegas, pick a card, any card, pick a plan. This could be Aetna, Travelers, Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Concordia. Let's say you resign. It's not unusual today for someone from, a decision maker from the PPO plan to contact you, doctor, and say, Doc, we see that you would like to resign. Would you be willing to stay if we could come up with a negotiated fee schedule? So now, in the face of losing you as a provider, then they're willing to negotiate. Does that make sense? But they make you do the first move. And here's what I tell my clients. Answer the question, say, would you be willing to stay if we could come up with a negotiated fee schedule? If that happens to you, then I would encourage you to say, well, let me take a look. Let me see it. Let me see it in writing. Let me see what it looks like. Because you want to see it in writing. Let me see it in writing, and then I'll take a look at it and reconsider based on your negotiated fees that you propose. And I always tell my clients, and then once you get that, let's you and I have a Zoom conversation, and we can make a decision about that. And in most cases, the negotiated fee schedule is just the tiniest bit better than what you already have. In other words, they're throwing you a bone. They're throwing you a crumb off the table. And in most cases, it doesn't make sense. But I have seen exceptions to that in areas where they might need more providers. Who needs who in this equation? Do you need the insurance company? Does the insurance company need you? I would argue that the insurance company needs you.
Right.
So if you happen to be in an area, which of course we can't really find out until it happens, if you happen to be in an area where they are short providers, they need you, they might be more willing to negotiate once you're threatening to resign. But notice that you have to take the first step. If you contact them before you've resigned and say, are you willing to negotiate? The answer will be no. And they realize that most dentists will just put their tail between their legs and say, oh, well, I tried. Well, and then most dentists feel like they can't successfully resign. And the insurance, the dental insurance company knows this. And,
right.
and they know all that. They have data as long as their arm about this. They know that in the state of Washington, when Delta cut fees across the board 15%, they know that only 3 dentists out of 4,000 resigned. So they know that. And they know these things. And they have the upper hand for sure. But are PPO plans softening their stance on negotiating? I'm going to say sort of, because I'm seeing more plans actually do what I indicated, that once you've resigned, they reach out to you as if to say, Doc, would you reconsider? would you reconsider if I was able to give you a negotiated fee schedule? And then again, if that happens, your answer should be, let me take a look at it. Let me see it in writing. I'll take a look at it, and we'll let you know what we think. And I am seeing more of that. At the time we're recording this, Darren, in August of 2023, I'm seeing that happen more often now than it was happening even earlier this year and towards the end of last year. I'm seeing that happen more now. And that would indicate to me that you may have some success with that.